Yeah, there is reason to explore.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. Just sit back down for me, Sean. Thank you very much. In fact, I tell you what, could you all just stand up for me? All right. Hands up if you believe in God at this moment. Apart from the people I've just spoken to. Put your hands up if you believe in God. Be honest. Okay. That's one of you. Great. Thank you. Apart from the people I just spoke to, so, yeah, all right. Thank you. Now put your feet together. Just all of you, just close your eyes for me. So there is something here in this room. There is something here. And as I talk to you now, I want you, whatever you imagine there, whatever that spirit is, just to feel it in this room and feel it like a pressure moving into you. Moving into you around your heart, your chest and your shoulders, against your face and your eyes. And as I talk to you, I want you to feel that moving into you. And not to fight it, but to welcome it, and to embrace it, and to allow it to move you in whatever way. And as I talk to you, just let that get stronger, let that feeling get stronger, and stronger, and really feel it now, just moving into you, one at a time, just feeling it right, just embrace it, just let it fall in. Good. Do you believe in God now? Yes, nice and clear. Do you believe in God? Be honest.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Yes? Be honest with me, all right? Be honest with me. Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, very much so.
Do you believe in God?
There is something.
There is something. Do you believe in God? And you?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Kurt left with half the group after the first conversion, but is still impressed.
I wondered if there's not something just in his body, an energy's electrical impulse that doesn't zap people. I cannot explain the warm hug that the one young woman experienced, except that maybe that is God speaking to her, that he loves her. So I do know people who've come to Christ with a radical conversion that is very different from most conversions, but nothing quite like James.
He was impressed, but to his credit wanted to meet again before he'd offer a full public endorsement. Yeah, the endorsement's important because the ability to show that even as a charlatan, you can quite easily ingratiate yourself into that world and be part of that fiction, if it is fiction. My next stop is Las Vegas, a city based on false hopes. I'm here as Robert Frawley, a man who has the power to tell people's dreams. There are no clocks in the casinos, no sense inside of whether it's day or night, and all the hotel rooms are really bare, so there's nothing to do but to keep on gambling. It's a hypnotic scam, but Vegas is the place to come and try and catch your dreams. And in a way, a lot of these new age industries are similar. A lot of pretty colours and saccharine that hide really nothing but false hope. In a way, it's a bit like this. Looks like it does something, but it doesn't. All it does is it just turns a green light on and off. That's all it does. This is my new electronic dream catcher. Despite the fact it's just a battery in a pretty box, can I convince this next lady that it records her dreams and then replays them to me? So we're going to go and visit a lady called Lorraine De Felice, who is very successful in the New Age industries. She's a magazine proprietor, an author, and she owns some of the top New Age websites. She's very sweet, but she is massively influential. I'm going to present her with a miracle. How skeptical will she be? And if she asks me if it's real, I will tell her no. Lorraine has been using the Dreamcatcher now for 5 days. She believes I'm developing it as a product, and I'm after feedback and publicity for it. Will she believe it's real and endorse me to her public? Tell us a bit about your background, about the esoteric world news that you looked after, about give us a little history of who you are.
In 1979, I decided to start the esoteric world. It was a newspaper, and eventually it became a magazine. And I printed thousands a month. I had thousands of members. Each member got a copy of what the other sent in. Now we have the internet, which we didn't have 10 years ago.
And it's doing very well, isn't it?
We've got thousands of pages on the internet, every metaphysical subject. I think probably the best, biggest metaphysical site on the net.
Do you feel influential in that position?
Has changed the lives of a lot of people.
I'd like to talk about the dream machine that you have. And just so that people at home understand what's happened previously, we delivered to you one of these machines, and you were given instructions to use it for, you've had it for 5 nights, I think. This is right? Okay. That's the machine itself. And this is the pillowcase, which plugs into the dream catcher, and you've been sleeping on this. I asked you just to remember whatever dreams that you had during the night, because, you know, we do tend to forget them, so I asked you to. And obviously, for the record, there's nothing that you've been asked to talk about. You haven't told any of us or anything like that, because that's quite important. Great. I'll try and do this now. I'm thinking, actually, if possible, perhaps we could swap chairs. Would it be right if I use your chair just so I can have a slightly more comfortable... I tell Lorraine that the box contains special New Age crystalline technology. But as you know, the box contains just an ordinary battery and does nothing other than turn the light on and off with a switch. What I'm about to do works through words and imagination, not crystals or the ridiculous pads I'm about to put on. It's perfectly safe to use. I mean, there wouldn't have been any... There are a couple of, not side effects, but unusual things that I've noted when people use this. One is that because of the way the dreams are stored, you may have been aware of actually dreaming less than you normally would.
When I was in a deep sleep, that's what happened.
Right.
But in the light sleep, I started
You may
dreaming
have had all sorts of flashes and images.
the minute I laid down.
Right, that's very common, and that's great. The other side of it is that you may find it tends to take the colour out of the dreams.
I always heard of people who dreamed in black and white, and I never did that. I had 2 nights where they were black and white.
It's promising then. Let's try this. So these are 4 pads, which I'm going to attach to my temples and forehead. Do feel free to talk or respond, but just maybe sort of don't ask me any questions if that's all right. I'll Okay, so there's movement. Things moving across your field of vision, wheels of some sort. Yeah, like large wheels, like cart wheels or something like that. Okay, quite eccentrically dressed black man. Also going to put white woman. I'm gonna say black man, although weirdly I feel it can be a white woman as well, which is odd, but black man, and he's there's life around him, quite eccentrically dressed. There's life around him, animals even, quite large animals, like big dogs or something like that, or some animals around him. Binoculars?
Yes.
Yeah? A bird of some sort? Yeah? Quite a large bird? Quite piercing eyes, or at least one eye very piercing, very clear.
Yes.
That
was another dream.
Some white buildings? Black sky, white buildings?
Yes.
Yeah?
Exactly.
Very strong.
That was one of the black and white dreams, yes.
Yeah.
I had never seen black and white dreams.
And maybe that's why that's come last. Okay, I don't think there's anything else. I think that's it.
That was amazing what he did. I'm amazed. You know, that was my private secret dreams, and he saw them. Okay, I really would like Robert to come on the radio program. I'd like to interview him. I think the people around the world should know about this. Anything you want to say about the Dream Machine, you can, or Robert can write it. And we publish it all, you know, in print, and it'll still be on the web, too.
Lorraine is convinced. The next day I got a call from the radio station asking me to come on and talk about the machine. I declined. After the break, I shall be Richard Collins, an alien abductee who can sense your medical history, and Fraser Sherwell, who talks to the dead. Will our final two professionals believe in my fictitious abilities, and will they endorse me? The journey continues as I visit influential figures behind modern belief systems and seek their endorsement. We're on our way to see Anne Druffel, who is a very prolific writer and speaker in the whole UFO alien abduction area. Her last book she wrote was called How to Defend Yourself Against Alien Abduction, which I've been reading quite avidly. She is very old, but we have to put that to one side. Remember that she spent the last 50 years writing and speaking on these subjects. She's been told that Richard Collins, that's me, was abducted by aliens 10 years ago and was given an ability to sense people's medical history. Many people do claim to have been left with similar abilities after abductions, but none have been able to conclusively demonstrate them. Please remember, I don't really have this ability. The question is, will this demonstration be enough to have this prominent investigator endorse me to her public? Now, I know who you are because I've read your books. Perhaps for people at home who don't know you, perhaps you can tell us your credentials.
Well, Vince and I are part of a group of UFO researchers that's been together for about 35 years. I started in 1957 with the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena, which is called NICAP. And then in 1965, when the first abductee, claim came in, I investigated that together with other members of NICAP.
So you both have quite a high profile in this area, and you've written, how many books have you written now?
I've written 5 books.
And this is the one that I first came across you, was How to Defend Yourself Against Alien Abduction. A lot of the stories involve these bedroom visitors, these entities that come in at night. So
most of them do,
yeah.
yes. Most of them involve altered states, like the dream state. The abduction scenario starts in the dream state.
If somebody said that the altered state is an altered state because people are dreaming, or because they think they're awake and they're not, and they're just sort of having a very lucid or vivid dream, do you disregard that? Does that just not hold up with the evidence, or is that possible? Or
you decide for yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
There's not very much black and white, you know. Most of it is in the gray area.
Okay, well that's good. I suppose I should talk about my own experience. After my abduction, essentially what it is that I seem to be able to tell people their medical background and their medical history, sometimes their current medical state. I tell you the impressions that I get. If I get nothing at all, I'll be honest and say so. And I will, if I do say things, I'll try and be very accurate, because I know part of this journey for me as well is seeing whether it is real or whether it's nothing to it. I'll stand up and face over there so you can... If one of you comes and touches me on the back, it might be interesting also if you don't even let me know which one of you is touching me. Okay, just might make it more interesting. And if you just place your hands on the small of my back, and just be patient, because sometimes it takes a little while. It's different with different people. I'll also have my eyes closed as I'm doing it, so I won't be able to see. So please don't say anything out loud, so I don't know who's coming up. Okay, I've got my eyes closed, so. Okay. Okay, you're having real difficulty sleeping at the moment, and I don't know if this is Vince or Anne, but you're having real difficulty sleeping. There's something in your throat, or that has been in your throat. A tumor or something that was in your throat. My actual anatomical knowledge is not great, but a gland or something in the throat there that was, and this would have been ages ago, but something up there, and there's, I'm going to turn around and look at it if that's all right. Okay. I think you I think you don't take, or you really try not to take, like chemical prescriptive drugs. I think maybe you use more sort of herbal or you know, non-drug-based remedies, because there's a real, almost if I'm shaking, but a real sense of purity almost, and I think that you had some minor heart problems, but again, nothing. I think you're in very good health actually, but yeah, but that was very clear here in the throat, and that you've been having real difficulty sleeping for some time. But the thing in the throat was years ago. I mean, literally decades ago. It's not recent. Is that remotely?
Remotely, it's exactly.
Really? Did you have something in your throat?
I had a thyroidectomy in the 1960s for a benign tumor. I had a low thyroid.
Right.
It was about the only surgery I've ever had up there. I do have trouble sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing you said, that I do not take pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Is that true?
Yes, I'm almost exclusively alternative medicine.
Okay.
I don't trust Western medicine or pharmaceuticals.
Well, you seem to be in good health, so that's...
I am. I'm in excellent health. And
Wow.
I found it amazing. I mean, the accuracy was astounding. He was accurate to 100%. I've written for the Journal of Scientific Exploration. I think possibly this would be the best place for Richard, because that's a refereed scientific journal. I mean, this should go to the very highest, most respectable publications you can find. At the next board meeting of MUFON LA, I'll bring up the idea that Richard would make a most remarkable speaker.
Anne has offered me an impressive endorsement there. I turned down an offer she made for me to speak at a meeting that evening, and I left her, keen to write about me. Now I'm getting ready to talk to the dead. If spiritualists really have been talking to the dead all these years, then that is a wonderful and important thing. If, on the other hand, it's not true, then it could be seen as a very ugly and manipulative lie. Now, that's not to say anything about Janet, who we're going to meet later. She could, of course, be genuine, but it's really worth having information that can help you make better decisions. Now, one piece of information worth knowing is that there is a skill called cold reading, which dates back to the first psychics and mediums, which is a way of talking to people as if you know everything about them, and people make your statements fit their situation. Since the mid-1800s, spiritualists have been talking to the dead, apparently